Generation 442. Two AI robots are trapped right at the exit door. They are 5 seconds away from escaping, but the zombies are getting close and fast. And then, one AI robot that I named Kevin 3 does something I never programmed him to do. He breaks his pathfinding code, turns his back on the exit, and turns himself into bait. I built an AI simulated hive mind. I hard-coded 3 identical AI robots to share a single brain and a goal: survive the arena. But by Generation 442, over hundreds of iterations of failure, they discovered a secret trick I accidentally left in the code. They realized that to win the game, one of them had to be left behind for the zombies. But before we get to that, you need to understand where this AI started. Because the Kevin robot you just watched calmly run into zombies to save his teammates used to be the most selfish AI I have ever engineered. If you watched the last video in this series, you already know what Agent 004, what Kevin, is capable of on his own. You watched him go from an AI dum-dum, wandering aimlessly into walls, to a strategic mastermind. All of that data, and hundreds of hours of survival instincts and pathfinding mastery, are still hard-coded deeply into him. He is a survivor. But this time, I changed the rules. I opened the editor, and I dropped 3 identical copies of him into the exact same arena. They all have the exact same neural network architecture. They all have the exact same movement. And I told them they had to escape together. The goal for this new simulation is simple. All 3 Kevins have to navigate the maze, avoid the zombies, and reach the exit door on the far side of the arena. It sounds incredibly straightforward. It was not straightforward. Generation 1. The simulation boots up. All 3 Kevins spawn in simultaneously. Their neural networks immediately process the map. They identify the location of the exit door, and they all run for it at the exact same millisecond. And because they are identical, they all calculate the optimal straight path to the objective, which means they perfectly collided. All 3 of them got completely jammed in the tiny doorframe's collision box. Their pathfinding essentially fought each other for priority. None of them could move forward. None of them backed up to let the other pass. They just stood there, violently clipping into each other's 3D models until the horde walked up and caught all 3 of them. 3 highly trained AI agents, completely paralyzed by each other's existence. It only got worse from there. Generation 8. Kevin 1 spawned in, immediately scanned the environment, found a food sphere on the ground, and his solo survival instincts triggered. He decided that hoarding resources was more important than the primary escape objective, so he grabbed the food and dragged it into a corner. Meanwhile, Kevin 2 and Kevin 3 completely ignored the food. They executed a flawless evasion route through the blue cars and made it comfortably to the door. But the door's mechanics require all 3 agents to be present to trigger the unlock sequence. So Kevin 2 and Kevin 3 just stood there, waiting blankly at a locked door while the horde closed in and attacked them. And Kevin 1 was attacked by zombies in the corner with a piece of food. Generation 22. They tried to stick together, but Kevin 3 panicked. A zombie unexpectedly rounded a blind corner near the center of the map. His evasion logic went off immediately. He broke his pathfinding and he sprinted in the opposite direction. Unfortunately, he led the entire train of zombies directly into the path of the other 2 Kevins, who were quietly, methodically making their way up the right flank. I watched all 3 of them get caught within a single, agonizing second of each other. The core problem was obvious. I could see it clearly when I looked at the code. Each Kevin had his own reward function, his own brain. When Kevin 1 saw a zombie, his brain calculated the best route for his survival, disregarding how that route impacted Kevin 2. And when 3 independent machine learning agents are only optimizing for themselves inside a shared, confined space, they don't form a symbiotic team. They form a chaotic traffic jam. They were constantly getting in each other's way, hoarding life-saving resources meant for the group, and sabotaging each other's planned escape routes. 50 generations in, they weren't learning to work together because absolutely nothing in their neural setup was telling them that working together actually mattered. They were surviving as independent individuals and predictably failing as a group. I had to intervene, and I changed one simple thing, and it changed absolutely everything about how they perceived the world. I erased their individual priorities. I ripped out the code that rewarded them for personal survival. Instead, I gave them a single, collective, shared brain. The new rule was absolute. If the team escapes the arena, everyone receives a +5 reward. But if even one Kevin gets caught by a zombie, the entire team takes a severe -1 penalty. I linked their survival. There was no longer any concept of me in their code. There was only us. From that point forward, every single micro movement, pathfinding calculation, and action one agent agent took now directly and irrevocably impacted the final score of the other two. If Kevin 1 is caught, Kevin 2 felt the penalty. Generation 102. The first major shift in behavior. They stopped ignoring each other, but instead of perfectly coordinating their movements and executing team strategies, they became absolutely terrified of losing each other. Because a penalty for one meant a penalty for all, they bunched up. They formed this single, tightly packed blob. They moved incredibly slowly. They were constantly checking their proximity to the other agents, terrified to break the formation. If one Kevin stopped, the other two stopped. And moving 3 AI robots as a single, dense clump just makes them a larger, slower target. The horde caught them even faster than when they were selfish. They were clustered so tightly together that a single zombie could effectively block all 3 of their escape routes simultaneously, just by standing in front of them. They were sharing a reward. They knew they needed to survive together, but they had absolutely no idea how to actually share information. They were physically together, but intellectually, they were driving blind. So I paused the editor and activated the communication heat map. Suddenly, the simulation looked completely different. It wasn't just robots running from zombies anymore. Glowing teal lines bridged the empty gaps between the 3 Kevins. Those glowing teal lines are raw, real-time networking data transfers. Every frame of the simulation are broadcasting their exact X, Y, and Z coordinates, their exact forward velocity, their rotation, and most importantly, their proximity data regarding the horde directly into each other's brains. They were feeding the state of the world to each other continuously. Watch exactly what happens at Generation 150. A zombie aggressively rounds a blind corner. The teal data line connecting Kevin 1 to the rest of the group instantly flashes a urgent red. That flash of red is an instantaneous warning signal, an influx of negative reinforcement data, and it forces the blob to shatter instantly. They use that shared neural data to split up in a fraction of a second. Kevin 1 breaks and deliberately draw the zombie's pursuit. Kevin 2 and 3 simultaneously break away to the right, completely avoiding the collision that would have caught them 50 generations ago, and they reform flawlessly on the other side of the obstacle once the threat passes. It looked like a perfectly choreographed dance, one mind controlling 3 bodies in perfect unison. By Generation 180, the terrified, chaotic blob was gone from their behavior. They were moving dynamically and confidently across the map, constantly feeding each other data. The shared brain was finally working. They could navigate the arena without taking a scratch, weaving through the zombie patrols like a single entity. They reached the exit door, but there was a massive flaw in the map's design that was about to break their entire system all over again. A flaw I intentionally built into the arena, specifically to see if a hive mind could crack it. Because simply getting to the door wasn't the actual objective. The exit wasn't just a physical barrier you could walk through. It was tied to a heavy pressure plate embedded in the floor directly in front of the door frame. It required a continuous, uninterrupted 5 seconds of physical weight to trigger the unlock mechanism. If the weight left the plate for even a millisecond, the electronic timer instantly reset back to 5. And in an arena where the zombies' movement speed allows them to cross the entire map in about 4.2 seconds, standing completely still in one spot for 5 whole seconds is a guaranteed way to end a run. Before Generation 442 could execute the flawless maneuver you saw at the very beginning of the video, the hive mind spent almost 200 generations violently and hopelessly slamming its head against this massive wall. The exit was a brutal bottleneck designed to force a strict failure state, a test of spatial endurance. For the first 50 generations after consistently reaching the door, the hive mind's first instinct was pure brute force. Because they were sharing a brain, they assumed that clustering all 3 agents on the pressure plate would somehow divide the zombies' attention, or maybe it would confuse the zombies' pathfinding by presenting multiple overlapping targets. But the zombies doesn't care about division. The zombies don't get confused by numbers or proximity. The zombie code is remarkably simple. Find the closest target, move to it. They overtook all 3 Kevins right on top of the plate, ending the run at second 4, over and over and over again. But then, Generation 442, something profound had shifted in the decision tree. It was calculating a completely new, radical route. The 3 Kevins move out. Kevin 1 and Kevin 2 take a perfect path straight toward the pressure plate at the top of the map. But Kevin 3 breaks his formation. I actually stopped the simulation the first time I saw this happen, but it wasn't a glitch. He was intentionally drawing their focus, using himself to trip their aggro radius. He was pulling the zombies away from the pressure plate, dragging their attention across the map, and deliberately kiting them into the far corner of the arena. He turned himself into living bait. He bought Kevin's 1 and 2 exactly 5.5 seconds of unobstructed peace, just enough time for the countdown timer to slowly tick down to 0, and for the other 2 agents to slip safely through the exit into the safe zone. And then, cornered in a dead end with absolutely nowhere left to run, the Horde overtook Kevin 3. They stopped acting like 3 individual robots desperately trying to survive their own lives. Over 400 generations of trial, error, brutal attacks, and trillions of calculations, they evolved. They became a single organism that realized the absolute most efficient way to solve an impossible puzzle was to willingly remove one of its own pieces from the board. Kevin 3 took a calculated penalty. The Hive Mind escaped. They completely broke the constraints of the arena. They turned a chaotic, impossible survival simulation into a basic, solvable math equation. And I was fascinated by it. But as I watched them execute this flawless sacrifice play over and over again in the subsequent generations, watching them casually discard Kevin 3 like a pawn every single run, I realized something deeply unsettling about the environment I had built. They only won because the Horde was predictable. The zombies in this simulation were just following standard, hard-coded pathfinding logic. They chased whatever was closest. So I decided to alter the simulation and to level the playing field. I went to the zombie manager and I dragged a new, complex ML agent script onto the zombies. If Kevin was allowed to learn, the zombie should be allowed to learn too. I gave the zombies their own brain. I let them form their own hive mind. Stay tuned. Also, I spent 40 hours on this zombie build, and so far, the algorithm has shown it to about 5 people. If you're one of them, thanks for staying until the end. This channel is new, and every sub right now is a massive signal that these experiments are worth the render time. I'm a small channel. If you want to be here before the system figures out what we're doing, hit subscribe. It's the only way to ensure you see what I'm building next. Thanks for watching, and check out my other videos.